I wanted to make this video for you, even though it's a little out of order from what I wanted to do, because I'm just starting this for my son, and if I can YouTube about it occasionally, others of you who do the same thing will have my info as I go and really get a real perspective on it. So, as soon as our specialists felt like we were comfortable with the possibility of my son having an autism diagnosis, and they felt like we were ready, they brought us over this big list of different treatments that parents choose to have done for their kiddos with autism. And most insurance companies do not cover treatments for kids with autism, so you just have to get what you can through the school district, through the state, and sometimes through grants and things like that, or just go into huge debt to handle it, or something, try to work it out. If we were wealthy, this would be easy, but we're not. So we had to decide what kind of treatments we'd like to start out with. And we looked at ABA. It's 40 hours a week. It's a kind of based on a reward system. And I, educationally, don't really ascribe to that, to treat children like dogs or monkeys and train them. And so I wasn't really comfortable with that idea. And it's 40 hours a week, which, kind of robs him of his play and his childhood to do what I say 40 hours a week. So I didn't really think that was right for our family right now. Might change. But there was another behavioral thing we could do called floor time, where you play with your child when they're ready, and that kind of a thing that we will do, but we don't start training for that until March, because my husband had some training to do for work this month and we couldn't do the classes. So we didn't want to just wait around until March and do nothing, even though we do have a speech therapist coming tomorrow to talk to us about a picture-enhanced communication system. So it's like cards, and he can point to what he wants and be a lot less frustrated than us always trying to guess what he wants. Hopefully that would increase his language. So we'll do that, but I wanted to do a little bit more. And we came across the biomedical stuff. And I will tell you, to me, it all sounded totally quacky. Like, if your kid ever had thrush as a baby, they're going to be autistic, and you need to get them on nystatin right away. Well, I know a little bit about thrush because my kids have it chronically when they're babies and they're breastfeeding, and nystatin will not get rid of it in the system. It'll only get rid of it topically. So obviously those doctors don't know what they're talking about. And then there are different diets, and the most prominent diet, the one that most people try, is the gluten-free, casein-free diet, which basically means you cut out anything wheat or from the same family as wheat, even a little bit, even a trace, even a little dusting, and all dairy and anything that comes from dairy. And I thought that sounded quacky too, because there were all these people like, oh, this diet cured my child and they don't have autism anymore. Yeah, right. Like, that probably works for some kids, but I'm pretty sure if it worked for every kid with autism, then we wouldn't have this huge list of interventions. They would just put us on diet. So I wasn't prepared to do that, and I kind of had to warm up to it. And after some suggestions to try it by like a former teacher of mine, people that I know are intelligent and don't just jump on the bandwagon because it's popular or a miracle. So after a few people like that told me about the diet, I decided to try it. And we're giving it a whirl, and today is his first gluten-free, casein-free, or casein, I'm getting used to pronouncing it right, day. And it's going okay. I'm going to show you some of the things that I was able to buy at just my local grocery store. I didn't have to go to a natural food store, although I probably will. I'll just show you what I already have that he can have, and let you know kind of how he likes them. So, welcome to my kitchen. He can have unflavored Lay's potato chips. These ones happen to be baked. He can have those, and he really likes potato chips. Because Lay's processes their unflavored on a different facility than they process their flavored, so there's no trace of milk or flour on the chips. He can still have his craisins that he loves. And he also likes raisins. He's not a huge fan of fresh fruit. He doesn't mind it. You want raisins? You're too little. He is not a huge fan of fresh fruit. It might be a texture thing. It might be a sensory processing disorder thing. Not a huge fan. So good thing that Dole raisins and Sun-Maid raisins are not dusted with flour, and he can have them. We bought him some apple chips. He's not sure about them yet. He hasn't really given him a fair shake. They have skin on them, and I think that's his deal, is he's not sure about that. I got him rice pasta, and he had these for lunch today, and he liked them because he can still have original Prego. Any pasta sauces that are processed on different equipment than the ones with cheese, and I know Prego is. I have to call Hunt's and find out. He can have, and there's no cheese in the sauce, so he's good. I bought him quinoa pasta. It's made with quinoa and corn. And I bought him gluten-free cookie mix. Now, he is not going to eat a batch of cookies on his own. So what I plan to do is make up the cookie dough, roll it into balls and freeze them, and then just take out 2 or 3 balls at a time, and then he can have cookies. And there's recipes on the back to do almond cookies, pecan cookies, chocolate cookies, peanut butter cookies, all that. I have peanut butter. He is occasionally a fan of peanut butter. He can still have peanut butter unless we decide that he's allergic, but for now, that's okay. What else special did I buy him? He can still have his fruit snacks and fruit roll-ups. Betty Crocker processes those in a different building. They don't use flour in that facility, so he can still have those, but he has a hard time with food dyes, so those are not a regular treat. They're back in the pantry where we won't see them all the time. And I bought him pancake mix that's just grains and baking powder and cane juice, so there's no milk in here either. You add milk, and he could have like rice milk or almond milk, not rice dream though, I guess. It's all picky. You have to, when you're starting this, it's a good idea to check. Just Google GFCF diet, and that'll give you some good pages. And also, I just tweeted. I said, hey, I'm starting this diet. Anybody know anything? And I found like 4 new friends who have been there, done that, know all about it. And if I have a question like, oh, he loves chicken nuggets, what do I do? They can tell me how to make a chicken nugget for him. Gluten-free, casein-free chocolate chips exist. I don't have any right now. I have some Wilton candy melts. These. And I'm not sure if you can have them. I have to look it up because they have soy lectin in them, and I'm not sure if that's a-okay or not, but I'm pretty sure I can just Google it. That's what I've been doing so far, and it's been fine. So I bought, there's tons of different flours you can buy, and xanthan gum for baking. I'm not in the whole baking realm yet because he's really a picky eater, and I don't want to make a huge batch of muffins that he's not going to eat. So I just went with the brown rice flour because it seemed like it would be a good match. And I have already made 2 gluten-free, casein-free dinners. The first time we did taco soup, and then he didn't really eat it because he never eats soup, but it's still gluten-free, casein-free, and all you would have to do is, even the corn chips are fine. You just have to not put cheese on it or use soy cheese. And then yesterday I made him gluten-free, casein-free chicken nuggets. And they look orange, just like McDonald's ones are kind of orange, so that he'll eat them. I just used seasoning salt to get the orange color, but if you don't want them to be that salty, use paprika. All I did was I cut up some chicken thighs crosswise into the right shape and size, and then I dipped them in the rice flour and spice mixture, and then I dipped them in an egg bath, and then I dipped them in the mixture again. I put just a thin coating of oil, probably less than a 1/16 of an inch deep, in the bottom of a baking pan, baked them, and I turned them a couple times while they baked, so it took about half an hour. And I have 3 in the fridge for him when he wants chicken nuggets, and I put the rest of the pan in the freezer so that I can cook in big batches and have it ready to go. And if we have like pizza one night, which he couldn't have unless I wanted to do a gluten-free crust and do soy cheese, doesn't eat pizza anyway yet, so he could just have the chicken nuggets. I can pull them out and defrost them. That's where I'm at with it so far. He is doing okay today on his first day with no flour and no cheese. We've been stepping him down slowly and introducing the new foods. So I just want to keep you up to date on that, and I'm pretty sure we'll get some new subscribers, so be mindful that you can choose. I have cloth diaper videos, I have exceptional child videos, and you can see right in the title which ones you want to watch, and I'll be adding some crochet videos soon. Thanks.